fall camp, the pants popping, the football being thrown, the coaching staff out there on the field. Everything returns for Alabama football this week. You're rocking and rolling right here on a Monday. Hottest show in the streets here, number one form for your Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama magazine, coming to you from the home location here on a Monday. But fall camp, players report to practice tomorrow, first day of camp, Wednesday. It is here. It is officially upon us. Talking season is over. It's time to get down to business. It's time to get down to work and to see what does Kalen DeBoer have. When you talk about this Alabama football team in his first season as head coach of the Crimson Tide. As always, people, you smash the like button. You smash the like button. You hit that subscribe button as well, so you can be a part of everything Crimson Tide football news. Get your family members, your friends, your casual Bama fans, diehard Bama fans, consumers of Tide football to subscribe as well. We appreciate that. The daily Super Chat go $100. Daily Super Chat go $100 right there. Taking all of your comments tonight. Get in the chat line. Let your comments be made known. We're reading those. We're taking those here tonight on the show, and we start things off in that comment section with my man Plow Jogger 1776. Plow Jogger writes in, Roll Tide, join in. Appreciate you in here, Plow Jogger. We have Jeremy Matthews with Roll Tide family. Have you seen the Big Ten Media Days and how Lincoln Riley's saying that Nick Saban made the schedule so that we can win championships? The nerve of him. Have not seen or did not see the Big Ten Media Days, Jeremy, but we'll go back and check that out and find that clip of Lincoln Riley saying what he said there. C. Bama writes in, Roll Tide. Appreciate you, C. Bama. We got Jay New with the Roll Tide. Right back at you there, Jay New. Then we got Jay Lee with Roll Tide, everyone. Happy to have you in here, Jay Lee. We have Vanilla 1973. Let's go, Roll Tide. Happy to have you in here, Vanilla. We got Joseph Higginbottom writing in, Roll Tide, roll. Come on, fall camp. Can't wait to get these pads popping. Fall camp starts Wednesday. This week, Wednesday, is fall camp. Let's see here. Crimson Bass writes in, are we sure we're going to get a Keelan Deere? He hasn't committed yet, and I'm starting to worry about him. I know everybody wants to see a Keelan Deere, the talented running back, commit here to Alabama. Still think he does, but you know, some kids, they enjoy the entire recruitment process. So when they commit, you know, they will commit here. But a Keelan Deere, I still think he ends up coming to Alabama, but we will definitely see. Jimmy Clay, my man, writes in, Roll Tide. Appreciate you, Jimmy Clay. Happy to have you in here. Ben Dover writes in, sucks losing Smith. It sucks losing Antonio Coleman and Derek Smith, both to Auburn. But we all kind of had a feeling that when Hugh Freeze took the job at Auburn, that Iron Bowl in terms of recruiting was going to heat up. We all kind of knew that. We all kind of had an idea that recruiting in terms of the Iron Bowl would heat up. This is Hugh Freeze making his push right here, but at the same time, it's not over. Not over. It's not over until National Signing Day. So there's still the option. There's still the possibility of guys flipping back here. Whether it's Coleman, whether it's Smith, still the possibility of one of those two guys flipping back here to the Crimson Tide. We'll see. We shall see. We got Bentley Boy SBJ riding in. What's up, Steven? I can't wait to hear Touchdown Alabama. It's coming, man. It is coming. It is coming. The fall camp starting this week for Alabama, taking place here on Wednesdays, the first day, first game of the season, Saturday, August 31st, in Bryant-Denny. Your Crimson Tide taking on Western Kentucky. We got my man Kareem Hood 40. Roll Tide, Steven. Appreciate you, Kareem, helping us out here on the show. Crimson Bass writes back in, Coleman needs to stay at Auburn. Well, there's Crimson Bass to stay right there. Don't need Antonio Coleman flipping back to Tuscaloosa. Keep him right there on the plains of Auburn. Let's see here. Jay Lee writes in, how do you think Christian Story will do at Kentucky? And do you think he'll be a starter if he stayed? I think Christian Story will do well at Kentucky. I think he'll do just fine. He could have been, I think he would have fit as a starter had he stayed. I think Christian Story would have been, I could see Christian Story as a strong safety if he would have stayed. But, he made the move that was best for himself. And I think Christian will do fine at Kentucky. Let's see, Jeremy Matthews writes in, the players that flip to Auburn is going to mess around. The players that flip to Auburn is going to mess around and find out. Hey, we're going to see, Jeremy. We're going to see. Right now, Derek Smith from Selma, Alabama Southside High School, and Antonio Coleman, by the way, of Saraland High School in the South Alabama area, both flipping from Alabama to Auburn. Kareem Hood writes back in, until their names are on the line, I don't mind. That's what I'm saying, Kareem. Until they sign, anything can happen. While they're in the committed stage, anything can happen. Once they sign that national letter of intent, they're locked in. At least for the foreseeable future, they're locked in. But until they sign that national letter of intent, anything can happen. We all remember Reuben Foster was on Alabama and then Auburn, and then he was on Alabama, and then he got the crazy Auburn tattoo, and then they got the signing day, and, Reuben Foster chose Alabama on signing day. I'm just saying. So it does not matter until they sign that national letter of intent. We got my man Jimmy Cash Money Bucket Clay. Let's go. Dropping in that $50 donation. The super chat's here. You are the man, brother. Hey, Jimmy, you're the man. You are the man, Jimmy. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. We appreciate the support, the donations, man. Gotta love Jimmy. Gotta love Jimmy, man. Appreciate Jimmy. Let's see here. GT18 writes in, Art, Road, Todd, Rose, Steven, Bama Fam, and TDA. Appreciate you being in here. GT18, Crimson Bass writes back in, Coleman is going to get pancaked by Casey Poe. Casey Poe ready now. Casey Poe had a very good offseason. I'm looking forward to watching him Wednesday as the Tide take the field here for fall camp. Kareem Hood, 40, writes back in, Rashawn Evans too, Stephen. Yeah, Rashawn came from Auburn High School. Yes, he did. He came from Auburn High School, was kind of torn at first between Auburn and Alabama, ended up choosing the Crimson Tide right behind Reuben Foster. So it all goes back to the commitment is cool, but it doesn't matter until you sign that national letter of intent. That's when it truly matters. When you sign on the dotted line, the national letter of intent. Michael Smith, a.k.a. DJ Smitty. Well, what's up, man? Roll Tide to you. DJ Smitty, happy to have you in here on the show, and all of you guys that are writing in, commenting in. Appreciate that. We're going to right now get into topic number one here of the conversation. And so topic number one goes right to fall camp starts Wednesday. We made it, people. Bama Nation, we've made it. We've made it through a long off season as usual. We made it through the summer, the heat, all that goes in with that. And fall camp is Wednesday. We have finished talking season. We are done with talking about who's going to do what, who's going to look like what, who's going to play like what. We're done with the speculation. We're done with the talking. We can now get down to the work to be done on the field where these athletes are concerned for your Crimson Tide. And I'm really excited because it's not like there's a whole bunch of positional battles that will take place here in fall camp. You know who your quarterback is going to be. It's Jalen Milroe. You know who your concrete backup quarterback is going to be. It's Ty Simpson. You know who your running backs are. Justice Haynes, Jam Miller, Richard Young. You even got 2 freshmen, Daniel Hill, Kevin Riley. You know who your wide receivers are, right? So it's not going to be just a whole bunch of marquee positional battles, right? Now, off the top of my head, I look at 2 significant positional battles in fall camp. Number one, that right tackle spot. I think that's a big one between Elijah Pritchett and Wilkin Formby. Both guys talented. Both guys have length, have athleticism. You've got Elijah Pritchett, who's got some experience playing in 15 career games. Wilkin Formby, a Tuscaloosa native who came in as a 4-star in the 2023 class, 6'7", 320 pounds, had a really good spring, according to people I've spoken with and got this sourced out by them when Wilkin Formby was on the field. Much better was Alabama in pass protection. So you have that battle there at right tackle between Formby and Pritchett. I think at right tackle, I think at left tackle, you look at Caden Proctor. I think he takes that spot back. But I think right tackle is a position battle. I think the other one is your boundary cornerback position, right? And that's between, you got 2 major transfers that you brought in with Damani Jackson from the University of Southern California and Deshaun Jones from Wake Forest. Now, if there's a slip up with one of those 2 transfers, then you've got Jaleel Hurley from Florence, Alabama, the lone scholarship holdover at corner, the former 5-star in the 2023 signing class. And then you've got just a bunch of freshmen when you talk Jalen Mbakwe, Xavier Mincy, Zabian Brown. You got dudes. Zabian Brown, to me, the one that's the most prepared in terms of a freshman. So I look at the right tackle position and the boundary cornerback position, that being the 2 of biggest significance. Now, you can also throw in kickoff returner, punt returner. You can throw that in there on special teams, position battle for who could be the best in terms of punt returner, possessing the ball cleanly, fielding the ball cleanly, and then once you get the football, have the presence of mind to make plays out there and house that thing for a touchdown. The same thing on kickoff return as well. Field the ball cleanly. Use your vision, your moves to set up your wedge, your blocking, and then hit the hole, go, get up and down the field, try to house that thing for a touchdown. So kickoff returners, punt returners, you can say that could be a positional battle as well. But I think the biggest 2 entering fall camp, right tackle and boundary cornerback. But fall camp starts Wednesday. We are here. We've made it. And it's morning practices. I've got the fall camp schedule. All of these are morning practices. We're talking 9:05 a.m., 9:15 a.m., 9:30 a.m. And while some may say, Stephen, I don't agree with the morning practices because Nick Saban had those players going at the heat of the day for a reason. It's more adversity at the heat of the day. It builds mental toughness. It has you fighting through tiredness, and I get that. But you want to know what's also fighting through adversity? Getting up in the morning, going to practice when you don't want to get out of your bed in the morning to go to practice. You don't want to get up out of your comfortable bed to be out there 9 a.m., whistle blowing, coaches barking in your ear, cussing you out from A to Z. You having to deal with these other players hitting you and tackling you and you catching and you running, dealing with all of that top of the morning. You ain't trying to deal with that either. So that's adversity in itself. Getting out of bed early to come practice in the morning, trying to prepare yourself to have a team that can compete for a conference championship and a national title. So while some may look at how Coach Saban had it as that's more so battling adversity, having practice at the heat of the day, I look at getting up at 9 a.m. or being up at 9 a.m. when you don't want to be up, when you don't want to be out there in the practice field. That's adversity also. So Wednesday starts fall camp. Excited to get that thing going. But we're going to take our first break here on the show. Don't touch that dial. We're just getting your chest warm here on a Monday. When we get back, we go to the comment section. We get your comments. We get your thoughts. Line us up in the comment line there. We'll be back after this. But first, a word from our partners, our good people at Alumni Hall. We're out here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa. Oh, yeah, gotta get this. Gotta get one of these right here. Can't rock that Bama without this shirt right here, fresh polo. You gotta also rock the all pink, like Kanye West right there. Keychains, gotta get you some keychains. University of Alabama keychains. I'm telling you, if you are a die-hard Alabama fan and you're looking for some big-time apparel, this place has got everything. We're talking shirts, shoes, sweatshirts, hoodies, cups, mugs, keychains. If you're just a Tide fan that has an itch to get more apparel, get more swag in your game, you come right here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa, right here in Midtown Village. And also you can shop online. The link is in the description to get your gear right here at Alumni Hall. You know what it is, baby. You get that gear. Our guys, Alumni Hall, great partners, Midtown Village in Tuscaloosa, helping us out here. Touchdown Alabama magazine. We're back into the action here from the break. In my own words, we're going to go into the comment section right now. We got my man Crimson Bass writing in. I hope we get Khalid Lockett, 5-star receiver. He's still out there. Bama still got a shot to get him. He's still out there. He's still out there. You still have the opportunity. Bama still has the opportunity to look at and get Khalid Lockett here on this recruiting trail. Moving on down to, here we go. Moving on down to, we got Ben Dover who writes in, when does fall camp start, Steve? It starts Wednesday, Ben. Fall camp starts Wednesday. Preseason practice starts Wednesday, 9:30 a.m. First practice. So you got morning practices now, creating discipline, creating the ability to get out there and get it done early so that you can have the rest of the day for, recuperating your body, hot tub, cold tub treatment, watching film, studying film, being around teammates, all that good stuff right there. And then we got Kareem Hunt 40 writes in, and my Bart Scott voice, can't wait. It's exciting, man. It is exciting. Fall camp here. Talking season over. It's time to do now. Plow Jogger writes in, he wants Jimmy Clay to know Roll Tide and howdy from Colorado. So Jimmy getting that love there from Plow Jogger, helping us out here on the show. J-Dub writes in, Roll Tide. So J-Dub, happy to be here. We happen to have you in here, J-Dub, to the show. We got Plow Jogger writing back in. Going to be a great year for college football. It is. You got the 12-team playoff. You've got, Alabama under first-year head coach Kalen DeBoer trying to get this group to win a conference championship, get it into the college football playoff, and have it competing for a national championship. This is going to be a very jam-packed, very exciting football season. Jimmy Clay writes in, I am ready. Roll Tide. We're all ready, man. We are all pumped up. We are all ready to go. Wednesday cannot get here fast enough. We are all ready to get back out there to the practice field to watch this team, to look at this team. Kenneth Schufert writes in, Roll Tide from Columbus, Mississippi. Happy to have you in here, Kenneth. Pleased to have you in here, man. Hope you are enjoying the show. Robert Mahan writes in, Bama has the best interior linebacker duo in college football, Campbell and Lawson. Yeah. Jihad Campbell from New Jersey, Deontay Lawson, Mobile, Alabama. Both of these two will work in a tremendous tandem together at that spot. It's going to be fun to watch both of those two at work. Both guys, lateral quickness. Both guys can shoot gaps, but both guys ready to create turnovers in this Kane Womack 4-2-5 swarm defense. Kareem Hunt 40 writes in, morning practice creates discipline. That it does. It does. Creates discipline, creates that focus, getting you out there on the field. Greg McKinney with keychains. Y'all know what time it is. You get those keychains right there at Alumni Hall. Our partners, Midtown Village in Tuscaloosa. Get your hands on all of the gear. Fall camp about to be in session. And you can't have your fall camp in session without getting that Alabama gear. So go ahead and get that gear right there. Roll Tide and Rise Up writes in, Roll Tide family. Roll Tide and Rise Up. Always a joy, my man, having you in the conversation. Jeremy Matthews writes in, I got my keychain. There we go. Jeremy's in the game. He in there. He's got his keychain. We rolling now. We rolling now. Jay Lee writes in, Roll Tide, Rise Up. Happy to have Roll Tide and Rise Up in here. Is Jay Lee and all of you guys writing in. Here we go. Plow Jogger writes in, Steven, does it look like the strength and conditioning program is up to the Bama standard? It is. The guys have made it through the offseason stronger, great shape. Dave Ballou, the head strength coach, talked about it this week. The guys have entered fall camp in tremendous shape. They're conditioned well. They're ready to go. Everybody's set. You know, the main prayer is that nobody gets hurt in fall camp. That's the main thing. Make it through the entire fall camp, no injuries. But leading into fall camp, David Ballou and his staff have these players exactly where they need to be, and that's a big positive. James Knox writes in, Roll Tide till I die, in my own words, TDA family. Appreciate James coming in here, showing the support on the show. All of you guys writing in. This is awesome. My man From writes in from Davis. Roll Tide to everyone everywhere. Appreciate you from being in here and being a part of the show. We got Eugene Ingram. Do you think safety, defensive tackle, and running back are all that's left to address Roll Tide? Are you saying that, Eugene, in terms of recruiting? Or are you saying that in terms of position battles for fall camp? Give me some clarity on that. Are you saying that in terms of position battles, or are you saying that in terms of recruiting there, Eugene? Appreciate that question, though. Let's see. Jimmy Clay writes in, Roll Tide from Elba, Alabama. My man Jimmy Badman Clay checking in from Elba, helping us out here on the show. We got Crimson Bass writes in, Proctor looks good. Proctor's dropped some weight. He's now looking like an offensive tackle that can be an All-American player. You know, Chris Kaplovich, Alabama's O-line coach, trying to get all of these guys at that All-American level on the field. So Eugene writes here, he's referring to recruiting. So yes, safety is something to address. Defensive tackle is something to address. Running back is something to address here in recruiting, because Derek Smith was brought in to be a defensive back for Alabama. Of course, he's flipped to Auburn. Of course, Antonio Coleman was looked at to be a defensive tackle. He's flipped to Auburn. And then running back, you could definitely use a Keelan Deere. So those would be three positions that are being addressed here in recruiting for the Crimson Tide. Plow Jogger writes back in, we own the fourth quarter. Time to bring that back. Roll Tide, roll. It's time for Bama to master that fourth quarter, to get back to mastering that fourth quarter, mastering it strength-wise, mastering it mentality, mastering it speed-wise, mastering the fourth quarter in every sense of the word. And I think Dave Ballou is about to have these guys back mastering that fourth quarter. We got, Crimson Dad 813 writes in from Tampa, Florida. Roll Tide. Happy about Crimson Dad writing in from Tampa, Florida. That's awesome right there. We look at Harold Threat, who writes in, no big loss, Bama is loaded. And Harold, that's how a lot of people are feeling right now, because the commitment doesn't mean anything. It's when you sign your national letter of intent. The commitment is cool. The commitment's fun. It gives people like me something to talk about. But at the end of the day, the biggest thing that matters is when you sign that national letter of intent. That's the big thing. Jimmy Clay is back in here with a $25 donation. Jimmy ain't playing. Jimmy ain't playing. Appreciate you, Jimmy, helping us out here on the show, dropping the love here in the bucket. Appreciate Jimmy Clay right there. Crimson Base writes in, or Bass. I keep on saying Bass, but Crimson Bass writes in, can we flip Alford from Ohio State? That would be a big one. That would be a big one. Alabama can flip him. That would be a big one for the coaching staff. Absolutely. Eugene Ingram writes in, has Parker Brausford put on some weight? He needs to be bigger to take on the massive defensive tackles in the SEC. Well, according to RollTide.com, he's still listed at 275. Now, that doesn't mean he hasn't put on weight. He more than likely has, Eugene, and Bama just has not updated the system yet. He more than likely has put on weight, and Bama has not updated the system yet. Now, once we get fall camp on Wednesday, hopefully I am provided with a roster to see if Brausford's put on weight right there. Let's see here. E.P. Judah writes in, Roll Tide from Pensacola, Florida. I can't wait to see that defense. Defense is prepared this year. You got Kane Womack, 4-2-5 swarm, ready to unleash everybody, not just getting after the quarterback, but creating turnovers. That's the big thing Coach Womack wants to do, is create turnovers. Jimmy Clay writes in, Roll Tide forever. Jimmy Clay in here. Jimmy said, look, I'm going to let you know I'm in here. Appreciate Jimmy Clay helping us out here on the show. HB98 writes in, did Proctor drop weight? I know Booker dropped about 25 pounds from 352 to 330-ish. Proctor hopefully will drop from 360 to 330-ish. Yes, Proctor did drop weight. If you go and look at the photo that he put on his Instagram, this is him in his jersey. You can tell he's cut body fat. You can tell he looks leaner. You can tell he looks good. He looks leaner, looks a whole lot better. Looks like he can do more than just hold his own from that offensive tackle position. So if you go back, HB, and you look at the photo that Caden Proctor put on his Instagram with him wearing his jersey number going into this upcoming season, starting off with the fall camp, he looks like he has dropped weight. Let's see. Keith Williams writes in, Roll Tide Roll from Lomax, Alabama. Appreciate you, Keith, helping us out here on the show from Lomax. Plow Jogger writes in, that's what I've been saying, Eugene. When you look at going back to Parker Brausford, I think, guys, he's put on weight. Now, of course, the University of Alabama, it takes them a minute to update a lot of the weight transformations that these guys have been on, but I should get a roster on Wednesday. Should I get that roster, I'll be able to look at how much each guy has picked up in terms of weight and how much each guy maybe has lost in terms of weight, guys that were looking to trim down in the offseason. Eugene Ingram writes back in, the trenches will determine how far Bama will go this season. If we are solid on the lines of scrimmage, it's game over. That's the big thing. The big guys up front have to do their job. Big guys up front have to excel. Offensive line, run blocking, pass protection, defensive line, stuffing the run, getting after the quarterback, helping your linebackers and your defensive secondary come up with big plays, creating turnovers there. HB98 writes in, Brausford will be fine. He is basically a more athletic and complete version of William Blahos with a higher upside. That's a good comparison, HB. A more athletic, higher upside of William Blahos. And Blahos was really good. Blahos was really good. Absolutely. The super chat goal been met now, Jimmy, with another 25 from Jimmy. Bring him up, Clay. That's that $100 right there. That's that $100 right there. Jimmy got it. Jimmy has met the goal. You met it, Jimmy. You met it, man. And all of you checking out the show today, we appreciate all of you guys. That goal definitely has been met. Bama family, hey, we did that. We did that. Plow Jogger writes in, something I've seen in the NFL is that many defenders have not learned what Saban taught about turnovers. First man stops the ball carrier. Second man goes for the ball, else it's a broken tackle. That's the main thing. The first guy, you go after the ball carrier, and then the second guy, you go to rip that ball out. And that was the reason why Coach Saban during his time at Alabama would have that turnover drill every day in practice where he would have the first guy go for the ball carrier. He'd have the second guy try to punch the ball out, try to rip the ball out, get the ball on the ground. Saban was big on, if you create turnovers, if you win the turnover battle, then 9 times out of 10, you're going to win the football game. If you win the turnover margin, 9 times out of 10, you are going to win the football game. And I feel like some people have, this has become a lost art to me, but hopefully Kane Womack can bring that back where this defense is concerned. Crimson Bass writes in, Jimmy, you have to be a millionaire. Man, look, I don't know if Jimmy is a millionaire or not, Crimson Bass. The only thing I'm happy about is that Jimmy donates to this network right here. That's what I'm happy about. Hey, I don't know if he a millionaire or not, but the fact that Jimmy takes joy in donating to Touchdown Alabama and donating to this show right here, in my own words, this is what I enjoy the most here. So gotta love Jimmy. Gotta love everybody. I mean, and Jimmy and Jimmy will tell you, just a Bama. That's Jimmy. Just a Bama fan all the way around. Jimmy loves baseball, softball, football, basketball, tennis. I mean, if Alabama had a cricket team, Jimmy would be right there at it. I mean, Jimmy would be right there at it. So he's just a pure, enjoyable Alabama fan. We love him for that. We appreciate Jimmy Clay. We're going to go right now, folks, to another quick break here on the show. Touch that dial. When we get back, we get into topic 2 of the conversation, and that is looking at the tight end position. Can Bama get back to really, truly utilizing these tight ends the way they should be? We'll get into that right after this. But first, a word back from our guys at Alumni Hall. We're out here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa. Oh, yeah, this. Oh, man. Gotta get this. Gotta get one of these right here. Can't rock that Bama without this shirt right here, fresh polo. You gotta also rock the all pink, like Kanye West right there. Keychains, gotta get you some keychains. University of Alabama keychains. I'm telling you, if you are a die-hard Alabama fan and you're looking for some big-time apparel, this place has got everything. We're talking shirts, shoes, sweatshirts, hoodies, cups, mugs, keychains. If you're just a Tide fan that has an itch to get more apparel, get more swag in your game, you come right here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa, right here in Midtown Village. And also you can shop online. The link is in the description to get your gear right here at Alumni Hall. Absolutely, folks. Our guys, Alumni Hall, great partners right there in Tuscaloosa, Midtown Village and T-Town. Get you that gear right there. Before we get into the second topic of conversation, so on Friday, Bama's got a documentary coming out called Lank. The Lank documentary is going to be out on Friday. University of Alabama football program. They posted this on X, social media. So Friday, be sure to check out the Lank documentary, which that created by Jalen Milroe and Terrion Arnold. So it's going to be awesome to check it out there. But as we're back into the action here from the break, we look at the tight end room for Alabama. This is a position that needs to be utilized more in the upcoming season. And you have some of you Bama fans out there kind of concerned about the tight end room. You look at this room and you go, do we have any marquee playmakers? Do we have any elite athletic guys? Do we have any guys that can stretch the field and make plays in the passing game? Do we have guys at that spot that are more than just blockers? And Alabama does. It's got 6 tight ends. When you talk about C.J. Dupree, Danny Lewis Jr., Robbie Oots, Ty Lockwood, Jay Lindsey, Josh Cuevas, the transfer from Washington. It's got 6 tight ends in the room. And so for Coach Saban, in the early part of his tenure at Alabama, the tight end position was used primarily for blocking. Now, occasionally, a guy would be able to slip out there, run a route, catch a pass, score a touchdown, that type of deal. But Bama wasn't really targeting the tight ends until, O.J. Howard came in that 2013 class. And O.J. Howard, for as great as he was underutilized. And then Irv Smith came, and that's when we really started kind of using the tight ends more, because Bama used Irv Smith, Bama used Hale Henches, Bama used Miller Forrestall. This is when Bama started using tight ends. Jaleel Billingsley could have been a star, but he chose to leave. That was Jaleel. And then Amari Nyblack could have been a star, but he's now at Texas. So it kind of is what it is there. But Kalen DeBoer has been really good at getting tight ends involved. He did this at Southern Illinois. He did it at Eastern Michigan. He did it at Fresno State. He did it at Indiana. He did it at Washington. He was able to get multiple tight ends involved in the passing game. And these were tight ends that were getting 30 and 40 plus catches a season. These were tight ends that were getting 500, 600 receiving yards. These were tight ends that were getting 6 to 7 touchdown catches. So DeBoer knows how to use that position. So Dupree, Danny Lewis Jr., these guys should be very excited, because you have a head coach that knows how to utilize your skill set as a tight end. The main thing would be is how many of those guys can Alabama get into the flow of the offense, right? Because there are going to be so many different personnel packages that Alabama could use, whether they choose to go with an H-back and a tight end or 2 tight ends on the field at the same time. You don't know how DeBoer and Nick Sheridan will go about doing this, but the talent is there at tight end. You got more than just guys that can block. You got guys that can catch the football. You got guys that can run routes. You got guys that can get open. You got guys that can make plays. And if you go back to the national championship seasons that Alabama had under Nick Saban, 2009, Michael Williams was a big deal at tight end. Michael Williams was a big threat. Colin Peak at tight end 2009 was a big deal. Then 2011, Brad Smelly. People forget how good he was. Smelly was good 2011. Then 2012 was Michael Williams. Then you had 2015, of course, O.J. Howard. 2017, Irv Smith got in the fray. 2020, Miller Forrestall was used quite a bit there. So when the tight end position is involved the way it needs to be, Alabama has been able to take that and win championships with that. So it is time for the tight end position to be utilized. It is time for Alabama to get that position of football, and I think Kalen DeBoer will do that in factoring all of those guys into the offense and having more options for Jalen Milroe to get the ball to. But we're going to go back into your comment section, guys, to get your thoughts here on the show. Oh, my goodness. Oh, man. We got some more money being thrown. This is crazy. We got some more money being thrown in. Here we go here. EP Judah writes in, I'm waiting to see my classmate's son, Tim Keenan, do his thing in the middle of the defense. Tim Keenan going to have a year. Tim's going to have a year. Tim is going to be the anchor of that defensive line. Tim Keenan is going to be the anchor of the front line. We saw him last year emerge, step up, play well. Now in this 4-2-5, all he's going to be responsible for, winning his gap, beating his guy one-on-one, slipping back there, bang, punishing the running back, slipping back there, punishing a quarterback. It's Tim Keenan's year. This is his NFL money draft value season. Big year for Tim Keenan. Jimmy Clay writes in my own words, the Bama Standard, Crimson Dynasty, Roll Tide. Jimmy shouting out all the shows. Jimmy is shouting out all the shows right now. We appreciate the love there, Jimmy. We got Jeremiah Walker with that $4.99, dropping the love into the super chats. Appreciate Jeremiah Walker right there. He writes in Roll Tide, Stephen, love the content. We appreciate that, Jeremiah. Do you think that DeBoer will start recruiting Pennsylvania more? There are a lot of great talent missed out on. He should. He absolutely should. I mean, Alabama was able to recruit the Pennsylvania area pretty good under Coach Saban. When you discuss Robert Foster, you got him from the Pennsylvania area. You got Christian Barmore from that same area. So Bama's been able to get guys from that area. Here recently, you get Rico Scott, wide receiver from that area. So hopefully DeBoer will be able to reach out more into the Pennsylvania area and get those highly talented athletes. Victor Roberts writes in, Ryan Williams is going to be a beast at wide receiver. I'm excited for that young man. And we're going to talk more on him in the final topic. But Ryan Williams, after the high school career he had, after the offseason he's had since arriving in the summer, Ryan Williams is going to be a star attraction. You got to keep your eyes on that dude. We got GT18, CJ Dupree. He's good. Underutilized at Maryland. So I'm just saying. And here at Alabama, it's going to be something. It is going to be something. So, hey, I'm looking forward to seeing Dupree here for Alabama. Get out here and do his thing with DeBoer, knowing how good he is with tight ends. Victor Roberts writes in, Roll Tide. Appreciate you, Victor, helping us out here on the show. We got GT18. We have great weapons at tight end. Would like to see them utilized. It's time. It is time to see those guys utilized there at the tight end position. Plow that surf and turf. Hey, we'll see that. Hey, we'll see Plow. We'll see about that surf and turf action right there. Let's see here. We got Keith Williams writes in, OJ was good for his time, both catching and blocking. Look, Keith, OJ was, but I would have loved to have seen him more from a receiving aspect, just how athletic he was, how gifted he was as a pass-catching, stretch-the-field target. I wanted to see him more in the passing game. Yes, he was a good blocker. He was. I'm not discrediting that. But I would have liked to have seen him more primarily as that receiving threat, receiving option. GT18, going back to Lakeith's point, writes in, OJ was the man, Lakeith. Completely agree. He was. Like I said, I would have just loved to have seen him more from a receiving aspect. Absolutely. Let's see here. Eugene Ingram writes in, we have to implement the screen game to the running backs and get Kendrick and Cole in some reverse packages. Got to have that screen game. And yes, Kendrick Law and Cole Adams. Got to get those two involved. Kendrick Law has been on the cusp of a breakout season the last 2 years. He needs to be out there. And then Cole Adams, after seeing what he did this past A-Day game, making a lot of catches there on the field, you got to get Cole Adams involved as well. But hold on here. We got to show some love to my guy, Anthony Lang. Let's go with the $100 donation that Benjamin Franklin then walked into the super chats. Let's get it. Man, appreciate you guys and all the love being showed here on this show. Thanks to every last one of you guys. Every last one of you guys, man. Yes. You get the Bama. We doing it now. The Bama family. We are doing it right here. Anthony Lang, Jimmy Clay. We are doing it here, people. We are doing it here. Eugene Ingram writes back in, the health of Jaheim Otis is key to having a stout defensive front, the deepest unit other than receiver on the team. So Jaheim was a bit banged up in the spring. He was a bit banged up, but is healthy now. Looking forward to watching, what he does this fall camp, more importantly, in the upcoming season, because he and TM Keenan have got to shut down the middle. They got to shut down the middle, guys. They got to shut down. They got to win their one-on-one matchup, right? I mean, they got to shut down the middle. So as long as those two guys do that, this Alabama defense is going to be fantastic. Appreciate all of you guys helping us out here on the show. We got Moon Rocka. Stephen M., keep up the excellent work, my guy. I will do so, Moon Rocka. I will do so. Absolutely. Joe Calisi, chat room TDA. Joe Calisi back in here. Let's go. I mean, Joe in here. Absolutely. Plow Jogger writes in, CJ Dupree has been getting some interest from the NFL scouts. A big money year for him, too. Teams love complete tight ends. They do, Plow. And CJ Dupree, he does put you kind of in the mind of that George Kittle, of that Kelsey, George Kittle type of tight end. So everybody is looking at him to have a big year in this upcoming season. We got EP Judah writes in, I don't think we will miss Caleb Downs that much. Keon Saab is a very good player. Keon Saab is a very good player. And not only is Keon Saab a very good player, keep your eyes on Devontae Smith. Keep your eyes on Red Morgan. These guys in the secondary are coming to play. They are coming to flat play. Absolutely. So it's going to be a very good season. It's going to be a very good fall camp to start this all the way off with. But, folks, we're going to right now get into our final topic of conversation for tonight's show, and that being, the 5 freshmen to watch in preseason practice for Alabama. Starting this thing off at number 1, obviously we've brought him up already. Ryan Williams is a guy to watch in fall camp. Like, how quickly does he turn heads starting Wednesday? How quickly does he turn heads? How quickly does he become a factor? How quickly is he being a playmaker out there in the field? How quickly does he catch on to the offense? How quickly does the coaching staff go, whoa, we cannot keep this man off the field. Whoa, we got to play this dude. Like, how quickly does Ryan Williams turn everybody's head? Is going to be the first thing. We're talking about a 2-time Mr. Football recipient for the state of Alabama, a 2-time Gatorade Player of the Year for the state of Alabama, and nearly had his team this past season win a Class 6A state championship. So Ryan Williams, number 1 there in terms of a freshman. Number 2 for me, I got to go Caleb Odom. Went from tight end and now wide receiver at 6'5", 215 pounds. I had a really good spring. How quickly does Caleb Odom get on the field, right? How fast does Odom get on the field? Big, physical, can run routes, can get open, can catch the football, can make plays. How quickly does Caleb Odom get on the field from going from tight end to wide receiver? That'll be number 2 for me. Number 3, and these next 3 all, defensive backs. Number 3, I go Red Morgan. Red Morgan plays bigger than what he is. We're talking about a guy that throughout spring practice had every coach, had every teammate talking about him, his athleticism, his big playability. Malachi Moore even said once he gets everything locked down in this defense, he's going to be a special player. He's going to be hard to stop. And, Red, his junior year at Central High School in Phoenix City, Alabama, Red as a junior, 50 tackles, where he had 5 for loss, a sack, 4 pass breakups, 2 interceptions. Guy's a flat baller. He's right now battling Devontae Smith for the starting spot at Husky, but I think he's also he ended spring ball, but I think he's also this offseason been kind of in competition with Keon Saab for free safety. So keep your eyes there for Red Morgan. The next defensive back, I look at Zabian Brown. And this is if there's a hiccup or a slip up with one of the 2 transfer cornerbacks, Damani Jackson or Deshaun Jones. If one of those 2 has a problem, don't be surprised if Zabian Brown comes in there and takes a spot. I mean, at 6 feet, 180 pounds, he has the ideal size frame of the types of cornerbacks Alabama looks at. Of course, I believe he's put on weight this offseason. Like I mentioned, once I get the roster fall camp Wednesday and look at everybody on there, I'll be able to tell who's picked up weight and who's dropped weight. But Zabian Brown from modern-day high school, Santa Ana, California, here's a guy that's got Patrick Surtain, like teach tape. When you watch him on the field, he's good. He's really good. So if there happens to be a struggle between either Deshaun Jones or Damani Jackson, don't be surprised if Zabian Brown comes in there and takes his starting spot as a freshman. And then last but not least, Jalen Mbakwe. And Mbakwe, for the simple fact of he's going to continue to learn how to play corner because at Clay Chalkville High School, they had him doing everything. He played quarterback. He played wide receiver. He played defensive back. He was return specialist. So he never got the opportunity to hone his skills at one position. However, you put that young man on punt return and get out the way. You put that brother on punt return and get out the way. You don't let that type of talent sit the bench. You don't let that type of talent ride the pine. You just don't do that. You put that man on special teams. After seeing what he did at Clay Chalkville, you put the ball in his hands that way. You let him make a name for himself that way and get out the way. That's what I would do if I was coaching Jalen Mbakwe right now. Put that guy on punt return and let him do what he do out there on the field. But period. That's what I would do. Those would be my 5 guys. I would have as freshmen Ryan Williams, Caleb Odom, Ryan Williams, Caleb Odom, Red Morgan, Zabian Brown, Jalen Mbakwe. If I had to throw a 6th guy in there, Jeremiah Beeman would be the 6th guy. Jeremiah Beeman. Keep your eyes on Beeman. Defensive end, Parker High School in Montgomery. Really love this kid's game. Physical dude. Should be at 300 pounds now entering fall camp. He will break into this rotation. He will get serious playing time. I really like Beeman. I thought he had a great spring. I really, really like Jeremiah Beeman. Absolutely. So if I had my choice at a 6th guy, that would be my 6th guy. GT18 writes in, hey, Steven, I can see that. Hopefully he gets a chance to return some punt/kicks. Going back to Mbakwe, I'm telling you, GT18, I'm telling you. Mbakwe is learning how to be a corner. So if you don't put him at corner right now, that's not a detriment. Have him make a name for himself on special teams. Put him out there, punt return. Put him out there, kick return. Allow this young man to use his speed, to use his God-given athleticism, his God-given explosiveness. That's what I would do. I'm not Kangan DeBoer. I don't have that pay grade of Kangan DeBoer, so I can't make that decision. I'm just saying, if I was in his shoes, that's what I would do if I was, coaching Jalen Mbakwe. But it is what it is. We'll see how this coaching staff goes about using all of these guys. Guys, shout out my man Sports Talk with JB. My man JB in the chat line right here, man. Hey, my man JB. My guy with his show, Talking Bama, on Saturdays. The Bama Standard, JB and JT, man. Love my guys right there, Talking Bama. Let's see here. Let's go. EP Judah writes in, Steven, you are right about Mbakwe. I would like to see him returning kickoffs with K. Law. Jeremiah Beeman is a beast. Beeman is a beast. Now, I would like seeing Mbakwe with K-Law, but I think Bama has it fine kickoff with K-Law and Emmanuel Henderson. I just want Mbakwe by himself returning punts. That's all I want. I just like Mbakwe by himself returning punts. Keep K-Law and Henderson on kickoffs. I want to see Mbakwe by himself returning punts. That's just me. But Sports Talk with JB, Steven, you can go down there and call a few plays in a few. He said, Steven, you can go down there and call a few plays in a few couple of games. Look, JB, if they gave me the play call sheet, bruh, ain't no telling what I'd be calling. Man, look, let Kang on the board in this staff give me a play call sheet, bruh. Let them jokers give me a play call sheet, bruh. Ain't no telling what would come out of my mouth for that play call sheet, bruh. Man, I be pulling out plays, man. Be like, look, we gonna run. We gonna run this right here. Players be like, Coach Steve, you think that's gonna work? Look, man, we gonna run this play. All right, it's gonna work. We gonna run this. We gonna execute this, and it's gonna work. But hey, we'll see if they ever put a play call sheet in my hand and let me run this. But folks, as always, you want the best in news, notes, information, coverage, entertainment on your favorite program, that being the Crimson Tide. You can get this by accessing the Touchdown Alabama magazine app. You download the app from the iPhone App Store if you're rocking Team Apple, Google Play Store if you have the Android phone. For your audio needs, you know what to do. You check us out, iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn Radio, Overcast.fm, or iHeartRadio. We got you covered right there. The good and gracious Lord sees, but I'll try to be back in studio on Wednesday, continuing the conversation that is Bama football after the first practice of fall camp. Gotta appreciate all of you, the Bama fans, for the donations tonight, the super chats tonight, the getting in the comment section tonight. You guys were phenomenal. You guys were fantastic. Appreciate all of you. Be sure to subscribe to touchdownalabama.com. Get you that subscription right now. touchdownalabama.com. Have everything in the palm of your hands as fall camp starts Wednesday. You also get that subscription to TDA Plus, our video hub, where we're bringing you videos, we're bringing you pictures, we're bringing you everything when it comes to fall camp. So get yourself right there, touchdownalabama.com, and then also TDA Plus. But till next time, folks, appreciate you guys checking out the show. I'm your man, Stephen M. Smith, and you've been listening to In My Own Words.